Reload testing?
Yeah. And it's steeply, it's just not as pretty as most of the other routes.
We did have a coyote run right in front of us.
Really?
We were down there, yeah.
That's
like,
fun.
Like 20, 30 feet away, just right across the trail in front of us.
Big one. Really big coyotes.
A bobcat the other day.
What?
Oh, really?
Right by the freeway.
Wow.
Bounded across and then
Oh
hit him
my
with
goodness.
the bush over there.
The park by my house, right around, I see foxes all the time.
Really?
Yeah, it's just being quick enough to get a photo. If I can find this one, I was
I knew
watching.
he was there. I saw him run across, so I like just was running with my phone. And as I got there, zoomed in, and yeah, I just sat there. And, wow. Don't eat me. You smell it.
Bobcat?
I think you're okay.
Yeah, we were fine.
I didn't
Isn't that scary?
Oh,
They're like little
that I would be worried about.
teeth, but
I mean, like, of course, moose are scary in their own way, but they will eat you. Which is kind of funny.
I would have got the genetic markers. I hoped and prodded for years, and now she's like actively trying to do stuff and research.
Is John come?
He will not be here.
No, the phone's over there, so I didn't know.
all the pressure to get
Okay, so you ready? We're going.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Parks, Trails, and Recreation Committee meeting, Wednesday, February 5th, 2025, held here at Draper City Hall. First item of action is to approve the previous meeting minutes. Anybody have any comments on the previous minutes?
Move to approve.
Seconded.
All in favor? Aye. Appears to be unanimous. Second item is agenda items 2025 Trail and Open Space Proposal Projects. I assume that's you, Brad?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so all of these should look familiar because we really don't have anything new. We just have a lot of catching up this year from last year's list. So Lehigh City Trails, as you know, the Mayor's Trail has been completed. Lehigh's Dream Downhill Trail has been completed. The only other trail they're started working on that they need to finish is the footpath, which only a little portion is actually in our open space. Most of it's on Lehigh City's open space. But I don't know how much they got done, but they...
A couple 100 yards.
Okay, I was going to say not a lot. But, so that's planned to continue forward this construction season.
Where is that footpath?
It starts
It's next to
Lehigh's Dream.
Okay.
And then it heads west and then wraps around
Okay.
south.
I know where it is. I thought that might have been it.
And
So Deer Ridge Area Improvement Plan. This past year, our trail crew has built the Beware of Doug and Rex Maneuver, about 2 miles of trail in the yellow area. This year, this will be our main project for the trails crew, is to do the foot-only path, which will actually start at the trailhead and continue kind of around that knoll, and it will continue all the way around and tie into Telegraph, which will allow about almost a 3-mile loop from the trailhead of a foot-only path, using Telegraph here and then continuing all the way around.
What's the elevation like on that trail?
It's going to be fairly flat. I mean,
Because you're wrapping
5% average
the knolls.
Yeah, because right here we're leaving the trailhead and it's almost following a contour line. Here we have to kind of push grade to get over the ridge. And they're kind of high here, and then we try into Telegraph, and then Telegraph actually comes down and it goes back up.
That would probably be a very popular trail.
Is that like a 6-mile loop if you combine the two?
No, it's
I mean,
combined
if you combine that with Telegraph?
oh, if you did like a figure eight, yeah.
Or just went
Just
around.
so
and
from
back up.
here going along Telegraph and then around this would be about 3 miles.
Okay.
But you could do a figure 8 where you come in here and then continue.
Right.
Almost like doing snow now. Yes.
Yeah.
so you have that in yellow. I mean, it's off leash
No.
as well.
No, only the yellow is, and the road
Trail.
is off leash, but this will be kind of more of like your looping type trail where it's, dogs are allowed just on leash.
Yeah.
Can I bring up one thing while I just thought about it?
Mhm.
So if you guys use the off-leash area, at Deer Ridge, we've had several incidents up there, so we put up signs and we're gonna put up more signs that your dog has to be on a leash in the parking lot and in the trailhead, and it's not allowed to be off-leash until it gets past the gate. We had 2 dog-on-dog attacks a few weeks ago. So just if you're up there and you see people, let them know, 'cause animal control will be up there.
So it's okay if they fight past the gate?
Yeah.
I know, and it's so pointless, it's 50 feet, I mean, I don't know the point of requiring them on leash.
In a
for
parking lot?
50 feet.
We're gonna get by car.
Yeah. Car or
So,
other users.
That's the owner's fault.
Yeah.
So those trails will have to be signed fairly well that.
Yeah,
they're
so there's really no
expected to be on
intersection
leash.
with the, like, basically you use the trailhead and you will not interact with any of these trails, except for where it goes over to Mare's Trail and right here where it ties in, Telegraph ties in.
That's all, maple and oak, all through that, I mean,
Really
it's
great.
heavily wooded, right?
Yeah.
There's a couple kind of
Do you have
open
the
areas.
distance?
There's like a nice cool, there's a
2.5 to
really
3 miles.
nice meadow area right in here.
Uh-huh.
And what
That
is
we
that
show it
purple?
could be a potential little side loop.
Okay, I wondered what that was.
Yeah, that's a potential side loop. It looks like a little cartoon character walking or something.
So you said it's flat, but that's gonna
Well,
gain,
it's not-
it's gonna gain a good 3 to something hundred.
Yeah,
feet,
it will
right?
gain.
It'll be like, kinda like this.
Relatively flat compared to some other trails. So I would say an average of 5%. So it's not totally on the contour line. In keeping with the Far Side Trail, we're looking to keep calling this off the beaten path. So you can see that and it's kind of going to be off the beaten path. You're going to get on this trail and not have a lot of other junctions with other trails. So it is going to be off the beaten path. I know this has been on the plan to do a disc golf kind of in the green area, but that's gonna be on hold indefinitely. We're thinking that's not the best place for disc golf in that area. And so we're not proceeding forward with that at this point.
Especially dogs and frisbees.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well, that would be down below the dog area, but we just wind and other issues and parking. It's like if we add disc golf, we want that parking to be used for kind of these trails and not add another element, then we have a parking problem again.
It's really well used.
Yeah.
That parking lot can be full almost every day.
So last year we did receive the funding for the 4 bridges in Maple Hollow South. We have awarded that to Avid Trails, and they'll be starting construction in the spring.
Yeah, that's my bike.
Yes.
Is it your mic?
Yep.
Okay.
What kind of, bridges are they gonna be?
Just the wood bridges, just like we have
Like
elsewhere.
22 feet long.
The 20 wide? Like,
Yeah.
we widen Ghost, they'll be at least that
Oh,
wide.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Canyon Hollow Trail, this is one we reviewed as a committee, I think at our last meeting, where we're doing the phase approach. Phase 1, of course, we've done this past fall with doing some trimming, some signage. This coming fall, we'll reevaluate and see whether we need to do any more fixes. Dobbins Way Trail, this is a trail going to be named after David Dobbins. So this will connect Maple Hollow North Trail to the Mare's Trail. And this is another fairly flat trail. This is basically even flatter than the other trail. This is like, from one point to the other,
Is it
Where is this one again?
multi-use. So if you're continuing down from Maple Hollow Trailhead and you're going down and then you start doing a couple switchbacks before you get down to Ann's Trail.
Yes.
On one of the switchbacks, this will take off west, and it will just continue west, more or less on the contour line until it hits Mare's Trail. If you're familiar with Mare's Trail, there's kind of a little area where you're kind of next to the road, but you're parallel to the dirt road.
Mhm.
It's kind of a meadow area. That's
Yeah.
where it'll tie in.
Okay, nice.
So this will create a nice option for Draper residents to use the Lehigh Trails.
Uh-huh.
Someone can use this, go to the
Without
Mare's
going up
Trail.
traverse.
Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
15 switchbacks.
Yeah, so basically you can use that in combination to create a loop into a lehigh. So this one also has been awarded to Avid Trails, and they'll be starting this spring.
I think Dustin did a great job on those, and he's building the hiking trail up there too.
Dustin, that did Nurse Trail, yeah.
Yeah.
So Avid Trails is the one that, he bid on this, but we thought he'd get it.
Yeah, and he missed it by.
He was really disappointed.
Well,
Cause this one he wanted to do because it ties into the Nurse Trail that she
I just like the way he builds trails.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He really, but he makes them interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even a plain area he makes interesting.
Yeah.
I agree, he's amazing.
He
He's
really
like an
is.
artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
is. Rattle and Hum Bike Trail reconstruction and extension. So as you know, the reconstruction has been done and he's working on extension and he's almost rough cut it. I think he's rough cut it all the way to the trailhead.
You can see.
He just pulled his equipment off
Mini
just,
X
just a
where
few
it
weeks
was
ago.
there.
Yeah.
I think it's still there.
So, of course,
Who's doing that one?
It just starts where everything else
this one's
starts.
Dustin.
This one is?
The other
No.
Dustin.
Oh, okay.
Dustin
The Dustin
Malley.
that does the, like a lot of the
Flow
bike
trails.
trails, the flow trails, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's also really good. The rest of these are ones that we've discussed and were approved by the city council, but we haven't done anything with it, and it's all subject to funding through the Corona Canyon Trails Foundation. We did redesignate this to bike only, the Carpe Diem, but the reconstruction needs to happen on the upper part of that.
Is that official, you said, the redesignation is official?
That's been
now?
done.
Yeah,
And it's
we-
only it's downhill only now.
Yeah, we've already.
And bike
signed
only.
it.
It's bike only.
Pontoon Baby reconstruction is another project, just reconstructing that.
Is Dustin Malley gonna do that?
Yeah,
Is he? Wasn't sure.
yeah, I've talked to Bill, it's just all timing.
Okay. There's a couple new projects that just got approved for funding last night that the council wanted to proceed forward with. I just wanna let you know about. So Porter Rockville Trail at 13th East, there's a new signal there, and there's a bridge that's not being used. So we've approached UTA to see if we can at least do a paved trail over there, the bay doesn't even have tracks, and tie back in. They said they were open to it, but we need to provide final design before they'll tell us yes or no. So we got funding last night, so we can start the final design, submit it to UTA. Then it'll be somewhat of a process because we're doing UTA.
And that's paved.
It'll be a paved trail, yeah. UTA is.
Just so you don't have to go down and
Yeah, and
cross
cross
the
the
road.
street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, this was, we looked at this about 2 or 3 years ago as a committee, and it didn't go anywhere with the
Yeah.
council. And then the traffic committee came to us and said, we support this, we want this done, because we're causing traffic.
Yeah.
When you push that
jams.
crosswalk.
Yeah, because that north lane is green unless someone pushes the crosswalk.
Yeah.
And because it's a busy trail, it's now backing up into Highland Drive. So they were pushing for it like, okay, well, we just need money is all we need, and UT's approval. So last night they did approve the funding for this, for the design, and then if it gets approved from UTA, you have funding for the
So
construction.
question for you before you change. See the red X at the bottom,
Uh-huh.
left?
Yeah.
That single track trail right there that parallels the road,
Mhm.
and it's a great way, the school teams use that a lot
Mhm.
to avoid having to cross that. Will they continue to be able to use that?
Should be able
It
to.
won't be fenced?
Oh,
or
no.
anything? Okay.
Well,
good.
right now, we're not planning on fencing it. UTA may, I don't know why they would require it, because there's no train going through there, but
Yeah.
there's no current plans to do that. In fact, the
Well,
mayor,
if we
the
can
mayor
avoid
uses
it,
that trail too.
that would
because-
probably
yeah.
be good, because that does get used quite a bit.
Yeah, I know the mayor, when we presented this before, he mentioned he uses that a lot, so yeah. The one thing they are gonna require us, which I think is kinda silly, is UTA wants us to keep the tracks in where we're crossing. So we're actually gonna have to bring the trail in, cross perpendicular so someone doesn't crash, and then do a tight turn on both the entrance and exit, which I don't understand that, because the tracks are out
In other
further
places.
down. Another one, is a access to Puerto Rocco Trail off 1400 South, going into the Cranberry Hills neighborhood. This one was requested by the owner that lives there. He's like, people are going through my yard. You guys build a trail, I'll give you the easement for free. So, the council funded this last night. It's a fairly simple project, just going in and doing a sidewalk trail to Puerto Rocco Trail. We actually worked on this 3 or 4 years ago when Diamond Ridge was coming in for that access that goes up to the Draper Sandy Canal Trail. And we actually got approval at that time from UTA to put this in. It's just that we never got funded.
Barely south of 114. There's kind of an older home and kind of an empty lot. This will be next to the first home, because the only other entrance for that neighborhood is all the way down where the Aon Trail is. There's a little neighborhood entrance down there. So if someone lives in the middle of that neighborhood, they've got to go like a half mile north or south to access the trail.
There's the light rail station right there. So anybody over here wants to go jump on light rail, they have to walk out to 300 East and then back up to the light rail station. So this will allow also people to have better access to the trail and light rail station.
I have a question about the 2 slides ago. You don't have to go back. Along the tracks, some major tree cutting, like right in back of Jamie's house, all along there. Is that the city doing that?
No, that's UTA, because there were several homeless camps back in there last year.
Oh, really?
Like extensive homeless camps that they've been in there for a while. So UTA went and cleared it all out and left a whole bunch of stuff in there still.
Because, like, Jamie's house was kind of private. Now it's, there's nothing. There's nothing left behind his house.
Big tree.
Okay, so right now our recommendation is basically the priority A projects that we identified last year. We've either finished those or in the process of finishing. And then the priority B projects like Carpe Diem and Autumn Baby, those are the B projects. So our recommendation is just proceed forward and complete those projects. Unless there's any other projects that we feel we need to add to this list, we don't see need. The question is, do we really need to have a joint session with city council this winter? And we can just brief the council and say we're just going to proceed forward with the second part of the list from last year and not really add anything.
We have enough plenty to stay busy, right?
Especially with these last 2 that get approved last night. Get those designed and
I think it's great.
And along with that, we're working on, I don't know if you've paid attention to the bridge on the Bonneville Shoreline Trail just east of the Red Rock Trailhead, how that thing has changed.
Oh, yeah.
When I first started, there was no bridge there, and now we've moved the bridge and re-anchored it into the sides. And at one point when we measured last year, it was 18 feet down from the deck of the bridge to the creek. Some of that is filled in again, but we're looking at potentially hiring somebody to come in and maybe do a little.
Is that the one right on Mike Weir?
Yeah.
Is there anything we can do upstream to prevent the erosion?
We've looked. It's just it's the soil type, and it's just all the building up on Suncrest. I mean,
So it's kind of like the bridge on right above Coyote Hollow.
yeah, but worse.
this is
We
really
can't line it with rocks or anything?
Right.
We've tried.
Just undercuts.
I mean, it's spring hollow, and that water runs year round, and
Out
you
of
get
Little Valley, right?
Yeah, you get some downpours, and I mean, we've already moved the bridge twice, added handrails. I mean, you look at it now, and the sides of the creek are all the way up to the footings. But what we've done is we've removed all the decking and added more beams and anchored it further back into the hillside.
I see.
And then I went out there with Avid last week, and we looked at different options of putting in like a 30, 40 foot bridge, just because that creek just keeps getting deeper and wider.
Yeah.
I mean, worst case is we would have to realign the Bonneville Shoreline Trail to come down into the Red Rock parking lot, cross that middle bridge, and then climb back up the existing trail. We really don't want to do that.
No.
Oh, that's a pretty area.
So
It
basically,
is
that
pretty.
would be the only new project we'd be adding, and that, of course, we'd have to go back to council, get funding and everything, so that would just go through its own process.
That's a safety thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, question, Brad. You didn't say anything about the Phoebe Brown Trail. Does that mean we're not talking about that?
Actually, we took that to city council, about a month ago, and they're in favor of proceeding forward with, we had two alternatives, in A and B. A was basically utilizing the whole easement. B was kind of trying to not,
Hit
kind of
somebody's
hug the,
pool.
yeah, basically hug the canal bank and do a fence. The council directed us to go with option A. So that's where we're looking at. So right now I go to these meetings and then I leave them like, cause they said they're in favor if we can come up with a funding mechanism for it, cause we need more funds for it, which it qualifies for park impact fees, so I thought that was a fairly easy answer, but.
I thought that trail was already funded.
It is funded, but not sufficient.
Okay.
We need, another 250,000 with option A. Option B would have been 400,000 to do the fence and more retaining walls, but. So, we do need more funding, however, we do have a designer on board who's done the two different options, and so we still need to have them to finalize the final plans for option A, and then the
So
whole.
Is there a risk of it
Do we need to push it
going,
as a committee?
having legal action or?
I brought that up in the meeting. That's, some of them said, yeah, and so the council's aware of that, and they still said, let's move forward.
Even though they build up a.
Yeah, so I think, and they did hear after that meeting, I know there was some council members and the city manager that they've heard from some of the residents wanting to fight it, so. But that's kind of where we're at, so best case scenario is we get the final design done.
So that
and
won't
then there's
happen
gonna
this
be
year.
No, and we're getting to a point where it's getting to be a bad time to bid. So we need to finalize the design, and typically, you need to give them sufficient time to get their encroachments out. And so just by the time the final design, take the encroachments out, and then get it out to bid, it would be right over the summer, in a best case scenario. So I think the best case scenario with looking at that schedule would probably be sending it out to bid less than a year from now for construction of spring of 2026. So.
The neighbor at this far end, he wants it, and he's like, he
On
keeps
the
asking
north
me-
or south end?
The north end.
North end, yeah.
Yeah.
So
and,
there.
and he's like, what is taking so long
That's good
to
to
get
know.
our trail?
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
he has a whole different idea of it. He's
Yeah.
like, I bought this because there's gonna be a trail in my backyard.
And he preserved the corridor, so he, like the first two on the north, they put their fence, and there's about 4 out of the 15. We don't have to even bug them, because they're not encroached at all, and then probably another 4, they've encroached with minor stuff like landscaping, which are not a big deal. And there's a couple that have encroached with some fencing, with some landscaping, and then there's a couple that are
Big
major,
walls.
like, we're talking about, a swimming
A
pool,
pool.
slide, structure, and stuff like that. So.
That takes nerve. That really does.
So, yeah.
I feel
that-
that. Yeah.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and
No, I
years
don't feel
ago,
that
I mean,
at
it was
all.
like 7 years ago, a bunch of the homeowners like tried to come up with options like bury the canal and stuff and other options, and it's like, nothing's ever come from them, so.
Yeah. And that's kind of what was brought in the meeting, like, we, give them time for the residents to, if they want to come back, because they were gonna get money together and figure out a different plan.
Well, at one time they wanted to go on the sidewalks, but then you got cars backing up, and that just wasn't a good solution.
But
It's where I'm thinking some of these homeowners are known for their nerves, right?
Maybe, yeah.
It's not the first time it's happened.
So the question I have for the committee is, does the committee see a need to have a joint session with city council? If so, we need to jump on that soon, because even if we jump on it now, it probably won't be till April. Because their agenda's pretty full.
I think we're good.
I don't think we have anything really to
Yeah.
bring to their attention unless they have direction for us.
Okay.
Do we do another one in the fall, so then we can kinda say, hey, here's next year what we want
So
to
what we'll do
propose?
is,
Is that-
it's in the process that came up with, we do it at the beginning of the year. Because
we
we
need
do
to
our.
prep them right now for what we wanna do. Prior to-
Yeah, we're gone by then.
And that's what it's- yeah, that's
So
what it's-
usually,
something later.
right now is when we're doing our budget process, and so that's why they said, you know, any projects that would come to them, you know, we'd like to meet with them like February, March, that way they can, if they approve a project that needs funding, they can approve the funding for the, you know, July 1 fiscal year. So, yeah, if we met anytime before that, it may be a loss, you know, just forgotten through time. So, okay, well,
Move on.
we will move on then.
Next, item is 2024 trail statistics, and I'll turn time over to Greg for that one.
Alright, so years past I had trail counters and I would present numbers from the trail counters. I'm slowly phasing those out. They're not working so well. I've had issues with the software and the company. But in the meantime, other things have worked out well. I'll go through a couple examples of these. So of all the trail counters I have out there now, there's still a few that are working well. Porter Rockwell right by Draper Park, Orson Smith, the West Bluff, which is the off-leash dog area. And then I put one on Suncrest Drive where Eagle Crest started, because we had a request about a year ago about what are the numbers there, do we need a crosswalk, that whole discussion again. But these count both ways, so you can see, you know, the Porter Rockwell by Draper Park, 300-something thousand users a year. Orson Smith, you know, like 100 and, what is half that? You know, 170,000 something users. West Bluff is gonna be in the 60,000 range.
I
And
think
the
that's
Eagle and
low.
Suncrest.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, that's hard to see.
But that's assuming that every person that uses it crosses that twice. And that's, like on the border, that's not gonna be accurate.
Yeah.
Cause a lot of people are,
They do a loop.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also have the capability now to edit and change information on All Trails. And so I get monthly reports from All Trails. And this, I believe this is what we had last year, 2024. So we had 300,000 page views that dealt with Draper Trails. Visitors spent about 37,000 hours on our trails.
But these are just all trails users.
Yes, just All Trails users.
They're a fraction of what.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
total
but
are.
this is some of the information I get. 68,000 miles, 12,000 visitors. And this is just, you know, comments and stuff. We get reviews, 12,000 recorded activities, 10,000 photos. These are what I can do, submitting edits. So when we backtrack. A couple years ago, right after COVID, I'm kind of on this Utah Trails forum, and we were talking with other trail managers, all the issues we had, and I just came out and said, Trailfork sucks. Or All Trails. And as it turns out, Pitt Grew, who used to be the head of the outdoor rec for Utah, left and went to All Trails. And he's like, well, we've got this thing coming up, and so now land managers have the ability to go in on All Trails within their area and submit edits and change things. So the first thing I did is go through everything that was submitted on All Trails, delete a bunch of stuff, and recorrect it, so I can go into any All Trails page within Draper City and edit it.
Cool.
I get alerted if somebody tries to upload something new, and I can say, no, delete this, because there were a whole bunch of different routes of going up Jacob's Ladder, or hiking up Woods Hollow and hiking down vertical, and just stuff that doesn't make sense.
You don't have the ability to edit on Trailforks, I'm assuming?
No, but I can usually send stuff to Todd and he'll change it.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. And so this is kind of what the one page looks like that I can get. And so when you look at All Trails, the majority of users are using All Trails to check out the suspension bridge and then the Alien Tower, Deer Ridge Trailhead, and then just a whole mix of everything else. You know, the Suncrest Trail is Eagle Crest with some different things, Three Falls, lots of options to Ghost Falls.
Lone Peak on there? I'm surprised it's not closer up to the top.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
surprised too.
Like
Well,
Peak-
Three Falls
Peak View?
and Peak View, that's how many
Number
paid.
10.
And this is just 3 months from when I pulled this off, which was last week.
3 months. The last
This is 3 months of data, so
It's
from
October too,
Yeah.
October to
Okay,
January,
okay,
so.
then-
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
I
Yeah,
couldn't-
no one's typing
That's why
Lone
this is
Peak right now.
Bridges talk.
Right.
I couldn't get the full year on this, so you can look too, total page views is down 67% from the previous quarter. So this is late in the year.
Yeah.
And then this is what I'm able to do. I was gonna pull up the actual website and show you, but it'd take too long. So I can basically go in and add edits to any of the trails, but I can also put out alerts. And so all these alerts on all of these trails are, you know, trail may be covered in snow, ice, or mud. If it's muddy, this trail is considered closed. And so people will see that when they pull up all trails.
Is that a lot of maintenance for you to do in this season?
It can be,
Okay.
but I've learned little tricks where I can go click on a whole bunch of trails, like you can see all those alerts.
Mhm.
I did that in just a couple minutes.
Okay.
But it can be time consuming. They just rolled out a new thing, so I can go in and add what facilities certain things have, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna do that yet. Next we have Strava. If any of you subscribe and have ever looked at the heat maps on Strava, they now have night heat maps. They have weekly heat maps. They have personal heat maps. So you can see everywhere you've ever used Strava in the world. I just pulled this one up of, you know, our entire trail system, and I can zoom in. You can tell by the darker lines, you know, what's used the most. Obviously Rush, the Lower Canyon, the downhill trails, some over in here, a lot onto Three Falls. You know, you can zoom in and, you know, this is Lupin. This isn't the best resolution, but if you pay for Strava, go check out the heat map. It's fascinating, because you could really zoom in and you can see all of these different routes that, like, people have taken up to Lone Peak and stuff.
I saw lights on the mountain last
Yeah, I
night.
did too.
Going up.
Yeah.
Showing the lights.
But then I zoomed into more specific areas like Corner Canyon itself. You could see Canyon Hollow, Rocks, Ghost Falls, Rush, get a lot of use.
Jacob's Ladder.
And then you can also divide the heat map into all bike, mountain biking, running, hiking, skiing, everything like that. It's pretty fascinating if you're a map geek like me. You know, here's a zoomed in area of the downhill trails, the off-leash area, and you can see Lehigh trails have really picked up over here as well.
What are the dots?
Those are just where people have put pictures.
Oh, okay.
And the other thing that we got access to a year ago is a new program that the city pays for and has access to. It's called Placer AI, and this is just mind-boggling. So we pay this company that tracks, anytime you have anything on your phone that tracks your location, this company gets that information. And so all of this data is based on a cell phone being in a certain area for more than 9 minutes. And so what I was able to do is I went in and created several different geofences, so where I can get data from within a certain area. And once I do that, then I can go and hit open report, and I will show you what one of those reports looks like. So I can do a single report for an area. Oh, that's not what I want. So I can pull in, and you can see on the map, I created a geofence around the off-leash area. so what this will tell me now, 53,000 visits. Some of these numbers are a little skewed because there's so many different metrics you can set on this. It's scary. Then of course the trend of the months, and then also comparing it to previous years. It will also track what route people drive to get there. So you can see there.
This is so creepy.
Yeah. I purposely didn't open up the program to show you what we can do with this.
We can watch you guys drive to this meeting.
Yeah. You know, it shows, you know, most people come up Traverse, but there's an awful lot that come up from Utah County as well. It will also show where people go before and after, which some of these are kind of screwy. You know, you see restaurants and stuff. But then it'll also show like zip codes of where people are coming from. And so you can see the majority of people are coming from, you know, this area, and then some more from down here, and then this is like Pleasant Grove. And it'll show the zip codes of where they come from.
And the income.
Household income. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Ethnicity. And I just wonder, I'm like, when I started going through all this and taking some of these webinars that they did that taught you how to use all this, I'm like, how do you really know some of these things?
Has
You know?
Elon Musk got control of this yet?
If not, he will.
This is-
And then it shows like length of stay, time of day, favorite places people go before and after.
When they use the restroom.
Shops.
Yeah.
Where they go is, yeah, airport and shops.
But the other thing I can do with these is, so I've created several geofences on this, and what I do is I can compare them to each other. So if you look at this, I have a geofence around basically all the trails that go up the suspension bridge. This includes Orson Smith, Ralph's, parts of the BST, the aqueduct and stuff. I put a geofence around the bike park. This is Corner Canyon over to Red Rock, up past Potato Hill. So this will include all vans and everything. And then here's the upper road. So basically all of, you know, kind of the original Corner Canyon. I created one around the East Hollows area, which is Hog Hollow, Carpe Diem, that sort of stuff. And I created one around the downhill trails. I've got some others, but I can only do 5 at a time. And so what then I can then go in and do is I can look at visits per year. So Corner Canyon proper, about 110,000 visits. The downhill trails, 145,000 visits. East Hollow, 11,000. Suspension Bridge, close to 40. Draper Bike Park, 15,000. And it'll go through average time and stuff like that. And then it'll give you.
I mean, I feel like the answer is potentially yes, but is it able to count how much of that is duplicate use?
Once they're in, they're counted once.
Okay, so you could have the same person going.
Mhm.
It would count multiple times.
And it'll give you a graph. And then for each one of the geofences, a lot of people that come into Corner Canyon are coming off I-15, coming up Traverse, and going to down Mike Weir. The East Hollows, Hog Hollow stuff, coming up Traverse, either parking in this area or coming all the way down and around and parking at the Highland Trailhead. The Bear Canyon Suspension Bridge, most people are coming straight up 123rd and then from out of Sandy as well. Zip codes of where people are actually coming from, which is, you know, pretty much all over the south end of the valley and also Utah County. Household income, just hourly visits, same thing here. And so this is where we're able to track information, and if I were to pull up the website and show you all the different things that I can find, it's unbelievable, of where people are come from, where they're going, and other businesses are open to this. So out of curiosity, I clicked on like Boston Fitness, where I go in the mornings, and see routes people take, where people go before, where they go after. I believe this one I had it loaded up.
And this is a full year report, right? Because
Yeah.
that would vary depending on the season.
And you can go back through histories too and compare prior
Yes.
years too, so see how things change.
Biggest takeaway for me on that is when we created those downhill bike trails on the south side with the intent of drawing riders out of Corner Canyon over there, I knew it worked, but those numbers are just astounding.
Yeah, more people using those.
Here's kind of a different graph of where people are coming from, throughout the valley. So it's kind of like a heat map here as well.
This is scary. Like like in my brain, I'm like, I did not think too much.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
These
but
are just
also-
different maps for some of the different areas. East Hollows.
They're watching.
Like
Well,
Park.
they're always Yes.
Oh yeah, it's Bear Canyon Suspension
And
Bridge. So this
is
this also
good.
this can also track. So most people who go to the suspension bridge are coming from home, going to the bridge, and then going back home again. Some of them are coming from the Lake Bonneville Shoreline Trail, which I'm not sure exactly where that is. And then a lot of people are going to Draper Peaks or Draper Park, or they're going to work. And they determine this by where your cell phone is. Or they go to the day barn.
That's random.
Shows
But
prior
they
journeys.
take,
That is so
if like,
weird.
It's a lot of
500
people
people
going to
come
the
through,
day
they
barn.
only
Yeah, a
have
lot of
data
people
for
going
like
to the day
20
barn.
people, and then they use AI to
Yeah.
extrapolate these
20%.
numbers, so they're like a
What's
little
going on
wonky,
at the
but.
day barn?
Well, the day barn is basically tracks.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Tracks
That's
station.
what it is.
Draper
It's
Park.
right next to it. That makes sense.
That's probably
Okay.
what they're
They're
picking
not all
up.
hanging out at the day barn.
Yeah, it's I mean, bike park. A lot of people go to 7-Eleven after the bike park, and
It's all the teenagers.
So now we need to
Yeah, does it have age
7-Eleven
on there?
sponsorship,
Is
but
age
that-
on there? Cause that bike park.
No, I tried looking. I mean, there's so many different buttons and different things
Uh-huh.
you can do to extrapolate the information out of here. They used to have like a weekly webinar, but so much of it is more focused on businesses and stuff. One of our other employees is always asked by like administration that, hey, this company wants to come in and put a building here. Can you get this sort of information for us? Of where people go. So if I were to open it up, I could click on like Chick-fil-A and tell you how many people are through there in an hour, where they come, where they go. It's unbelievable.
So can you see like trail usage Draper residents versus non-Draper? Like what is that,
Say,
you know?
wasn't there one
Like percentage wise, like what is the
We have
percentage?
zip codes, so you just
Yeah.
go Draper zip
Yeah.
code versus.
Well,
the
and what
other
does
zip
everyone
code.
know?
Zip
That would be
codes.
cool to
Didn't you
know.
have something where it showed people that were from out of the US?
That's when I clicked on the airport. So I can click on the airport as a
No, but-
property, and anybody that comes and goes from there,
But there was something, I thought there was something
I know.
you were showing me that saying, oh yeah, we have people from Australia.
Oh, yeah.
On one of our trails, it's called.
Yes. No, that was that report that we got from Scott.
Okay.
But this shows like clusters of where people are coming from, and this is this East Hollows, so Hog Hollow in that area. So it highlights these.
Yeah, you did one that showed, you can zoom out to the US map. And you
Oh,
can,
yeah.
you
Oh,
could
that's
see that same map, but
That's
zoomed
right.
out, so of course Utah's has a lot.
Well, I could log in and we could spend 3 hours going.
We can spend all day.
Mhm.
But it was kinda cool to see that, where people were coming from in the US.
And so this is why I'm kind of going away from the trail counters. Plus, I need to replace a bunch of batteries on them. They're really expensive, and I could just do this from my desk. The counters, I have to go out with my laptop, download the information.
And nothing's gonna be perfectly accurate,
No.
right?
No, this is scary what you can learn, because I don't know if I have a picture of a map of like.
But really, for the city council and the city manager, they can adjust budgets based on some of these numbers.
Oh, the numbers you can get on this for like community
need
development.
And all kinds of things, yeah.
Could eat this up with all kinds of.
So there's no difference between a city and a business
Right.
in the information that they need.
Yeah.
Well, how many are coming from out of the
Exactly.
city and are they going to
And using
local
the trails.
businesses,
Yeah.
supporting them? I mean,
Yeah.
there's proof in the pudding that,
Yeah.
trails pay back.
I believe that's all I had on trail numbers.
Cool.
Then one last thing. We've been approached, by Scott, who's helped us out with disc golf, and we've gone and looked through and thought, you know, if we just put like a miniature course in the wetland park, to get some different users in there, and talking with Scott, who's kind of the resident pro, was saying, you know, people aren't gonna necessarily use this as a destination, it would be more for like neighborhood users. So if you're familiar with the wetland park, the parking lot is up here, here's the path that comes down and around, the fishing pond is over here, and so we've been down there and looked, and basically all the tee pads would be on the path, and then you would start here would be the basket for hole 1, then you'd walk over to here, basket for hole 2, and then you would basically reverse it, so we'd only have to put in 5 baskets, the tee pads would be on the path, because one of the issues we have in here is where there's a designated wetland, we're not really allowed to do anything, so this avoids it all, plus it gets some foot traffic in here, which really helps keep the Phragmites and stuff down. We've all kind of looked at it, we just wanted to run it by you guys and see if you had any questions. All of these homes up here are a lot higher and away. We've looked at like making so nobody's like throwing towards fences, so there's not gonna be discs going in backyard, and we've talked to a few people in the neighborhood, like, I love that. You know, they're all
Yeah.
shorter holes, they're not nearly as competitive as
That
the
would be a
one
nice
down
enhancement
in
to
the
the
Jordan
area.
River. Yeah,
Well, I mean, if we can get more people at this park, it'll help with vandalism too.
Yeah.
Cause this park, you go out there, there's no one around, and so
yeah.
that's where you get vandalism.
We've had lots and lots of problems over the years of just kids doing what kids do in there. So this will get more people in there being active and stuff. Any?
I've never been there before.
Yeah,
I
me
wanted to
neither.
go on.
Oh,
Yeah, that
really?
would be- I've never been there either.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
it's
Cairo
a-
is the closest
it's a-
I've been.
It's a little hidden gem.
Yeah.
It's 15
Well,
acres.
and you actually get to this part, well, you can get to it from either 7th or 10th.
Yeah, I just looked it up, so I'm like, where?
Well,
Don't go in from
Yeah,
7th,
don't go from
cause
7th.
the
Riparian.
HOA,
It's private roads and
yeah, going from 10th east.
10th
Yeah.
east and about 1/1800 south, it's called Riparian Drive.
Okay. Yeah.
Just at the bottom of the hill, there's a
Don't
parking lot.
don't go in on Meadowwood from 7th, is what you're saying.
Oh, you
Yeah,
could.
you
Oh,
could
yeah,
go
Some
sorry.
reason you get to the parking
Don't-
lot.
okay.
Just not Sunset Hills.
Yes.
Just don't
Sunset
go
Ridge.
off. into the
Sunset
neighborhood.
Ponds?
Oh, I see, in the
Sunset
neighborhood
Ponds.
itself. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They have an HOA and they have a bunch of no parking
And
signs.
yeah, there's no parking.
But there's a couple of ponds in there. One, we used to stock with fish for our fishing program, but we've kinda stopped doing that. And there used to be a lot more water in here, and I don't know if you remember, you know, last year and the year before, the one big pond that's right next to Sunset Ponds is technically just a detention basin. And it started turning green and then orange, and we had the health department out here. We went through all this crap because we got all these complaints from the people in that neighborhood. Oh, what'd you do to our pond? It was like, well, it's a detention basin. And finally, after months and months of digging, what we had found out is that this park now receives 70% less stormwater than it previously did. When Sandy went through and reconstructed 114 South, they changed all the stormwater. So this place used to have tons of water in it, lots more ponds, but we've lost all the stormwater, so they're drying up, and there's other issues with it. So we're looking for ways to reutilize it.
Like your.
And this is one of the ones we came up with.
That doesn't require a motion.
It's not on the agenda, so.
No, Rhett wanted to be here, he just wanted to run it by you guys if you had any questions or anything.
I think it's,
It's pretty, I mean,
it would be low cost.
yeah, very, I mean, we could have it
and if
installed in a day.
If it increases usage, why not?
Mhm.
Ready to move on? Any,
Yep.
other committee or other reports? So that brings us to adjournment and the next meeting. When's the next meeting scheduled?
See. March something.
March.
Okay.
Okay, so the next meeting is scheduled for March 5th. And, we have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
We are adjourned.
7 PM.